Welcome back to Kelleigh Plays Opera Omnia. Today, I'll be going over our newest character introduced to us, 7, and give an opinion on how much she's worth investing in. I'm going to apologize up front. Visually, you're probably only going to be seeing this screen, so feel free to Alt-Tab and just listen to the review. 7 is our 5th Type 0 representative, and she's a cool, level-headed Class 0 cadet who wields a dangerous whip blade with deadly precision. In terms of base stats, she boasts good attack, speed, and max bravery. Her initial bravery and defense are middle ground, while her HP is low. All of her attacks are considered melee, and she is a user of the whip category of weapons. Before going over her skills, I think it's prudent to mention her Crystal level 50 passive, as it gives a quick insight into how they basically want you to play the character. All-Seeing Eye raises her initial bravery, max bravery, attack and defense, while an enemy is afflicted with Snakebite, a debuff given by her first skill. Her 54 and 58 passives also increase her stats further, attack and speed for the former, and max brave and attack for the latter. Snakebite seems important to her kit already, so let's go over it now. Kelleigh is a 4-hit melee bravery attack that inflicts 1 stack of Snakebite on the target for 6 turns, max stacks of 3. Snakebite reduces defense based on the number of stacks, 10% for each, and further increases the damage of Kelleigh. Applying Snakebite to a new target removes it from the previous target. Her 15 CP weapon is Silver Whip Blade, and we get one of them for free from the Missions tab, so make sure you pick it up. It simply raises the potency of Kelleigh and grants small maximum bravery up for 6 turns. Her 55 crystal passive increases the potency even further. Bravery stolen from the target can overflow up to 150% of maximum bravery, and if your bravery exceeds 100%, an HP attack will trigger. It also lowers action delay if the target is broken. It's unfortunate when the character needs to ramp up, but Kelleigh offers immediate benefits to a whole team if they are offensive, making it a pretty good turn 1 move against a boss, though pretty not great versus general mobblers. It hitting 4 times makes it potentially easier to hit the trigger threshold over, say, Fang's Umbral Vice, for example. Now let's go over what we are ramping up to. Elementalash. It is a 1-hit fire, ice, and lightning melee brave to HP attack. Yep, that's it at its base. It looks awesome though. Surely that's not all it can be. So let's look at her 35 CP weapon, Platinum Whip Blade. It raises the potency of Elementalash and inflicts small speed down for 4 turns. If the enemy is afflicted with Snakebite, it will strike again. Now we're talking. There's no question about it. She needs her 35 CP weapon. But that's not all. Her Crystal 60 passive increases usage by 1, increases its number of hits to 3, raises its potency further, grants small attack up for 6 turns, and lowers action delay if target is broken. After use, it turns Bravery Attack into Bravery Attack Plus for 6 turns, which just adds fire, ice, and lightning to a regular bravery attack. I personally haven't invested in 7 and don't know if I will this banner, but this skill, with the weapon and the passive, makes me want to eventually. But that's the thing, she absolutely needs her 35 CP weapon and 60 passive or she's outright atrocious. Watching some 60-67s in the new co-op, she could pump out more damage than a Vaughn, but she's under synergy, and Vaughn isn't, so it's really hard to judge from that. I think she also functions a lot like Jet, and for some reason, you get Snakebite to 3 stacks, I think she might outperform him. As for artifacts, she'll be using both skills, and nothing scales off any other stat than attack, so plus 108 is an obvious priority. All-Seeing Eye Up also gives more attack as well as other stats, used for both skills. So I'd give that 2nd place. For 3rd, I'd go with Elementalash power up, over Catch and Lash power-up, but both are nice. If you plan to run her with a battery, M-Brave might not be a bad choice, but if you're not, I-Brave will be better. Early rankings of 7 from the Japanese put her at a measly 77 out of 100. And if that's based off being full powered, anything less than her 35 CP and 60 crystal, and maybe a good artifact or two, is just out of the question. If you have pretty much any other pure DPS, you can safely pass this one up. And I'd say she's most closely related to Jet with cooler and faster animations. Her banner introduces an EX for Rem, with the off character being Shadow of all things. I personally do not like Rem, and think she bleeds turns while having what is seeming to be a high skill ceiling for using her turn swap from what I've seen in co-op so far. Shadow is somehow the best character on the banner, and he's not someone I'd personally pull for. This whole banner is a hard pass for me. However, I adore Type 0. It's one of the other 3 games in my top 3 Final Fantasies. And 7 is the kind of character I'd pull on a banner if someone I'm actually chasing is also on it. Say like when Sice comes out, perhaps? I do not recommend this banner unless she's your top tier waifu, or have been chasing Rem and Shadow stuff and have 275 high red crystals to make her even remotely worth it. That'll wrap it up for today. Overall, I'm glad to see 7 introduced, as with any Type 0 content, getting love, and we have a Deuce release around the corner which I'm looking forward to. I find myself glad and disheartened at the same time by how low rated she is, but that's fine because the banner is Garbo for me. I hope you all have a good day, and remember to have your chocobos spayed or neutered. Until next time, peace and love.